I just remembered, I knew this continued. So the park continues on the other side of Euclid here, which is really cool. This is, it's in some ways it's a more interesting park. Let me show you. You can still see things down here. This is kind of a, look how beautiful that is down there. This is the southern segment of Springvale Park. I'm basically walking up Waverly now toward Edgewood Avenue. And by the way, on that last historical marker, which I posted photos of, they talk about the Clear Creek Basin, which if you hear this video, I've been fascinated by Clear Creek that nobody seems to know very much about. So those of you that have been on some of my hikes lately have been hearing me talk about Clear Creek. It's the creek that runs through Piedmont Park, basically, and down into historic Fourth Ward Park, that beautiful new park that's south of North Avenue, south of Pond City Market. That is the Clear Creek Basin. And that historical marker back there in Springvale that talked about the battle, talked about it. It included a reference to Clear Creek Basin, I think it was. So here's another historical marker. Let's take a look at this real quick. I'll come down and all. So here, this is Edgewood Avenue, just right here in front of me, which is where the historic trolley line used to. You know, our very first hike, our very first Urban Explorers hike. I don't know, some of you remember, we came down through here. We'd come in off of Edgewood. Half of us, there's a fork right here in the, look at this fork right here in the path. And I remember sending half the group to the right and half the group to the left. Nobody had been here before. And we ended up meeting back at the other end of the park over there by Euclid. So, there's so much history here in Atlanta, and you can only see it on foot. That's the historical marker that I was talking about. So again, July 22nd, 1864, this was the day of the Battle of Atlanta. And it talks about the Troop Hurt House, which is over at the Carter Center, which used to be called Copen Hill. And let's see here. Oh, this is a different sign that was up there. So we're talking about the Troop House. Manigault, who Manigault Street is named after, is followed by Sharpsburg, north of Colors. Manigault's Brigade halted in a ravine to form its line, while Coldhart's Brigade, south of the railroad, came up abreast, resulting the charge Manigault's men sent it to the slope and to beyond the Pope House, penetrating the federal line. Yes. Okay, so this marker right here talks about this sort of brief period where on July 22nd, the Confederate forces sort of pierced this line that the Union Army had set up, basically, which went from Copen Hill, all the way over here to East Atlanta. And it's just a couple blocks from here is that the Pope House that they're talking about here. So very interesting place. There's another marker right here. Let's see. I'm 4 minutes into this video. Here's another marker. This is more interesting here. Talks about the same thing. Against the Federal 54th. Posted at DeGrasse Avenue. Halted in this ravine to reform their line and preparatory to the assault that resulted in breaking the federal line and capturing the DeGrasse battery. Okay, if you just read that for a second, what they're talking about is that the Confederate forces basically regrouped right here in this ravine before they were able to pierce that federal line, which was just south of here by the pond. It's fascinating. Another beautiful Victorian house up there on the hill. I'm in Springvale Park in the heart of Inman Park.